During the 1950s, 1960s, industrial companies made it a practice of taking the toxic waste that came out of their industrial process and digging a big hole in the ground and putting it in there and burying it. And back then, nobody thought it was any big deal, right? I mean, it's buried, it's gone. You can't see it, you can't smell it. It's in the ground, no big deal. And then, as we all know now, over the next decade, something horrible happened. As the cases of the Love Canal showed, and the Woburn, Massachusetts case, where child after child was getting childhood leukemia at alarming rates. And actually, it was a pastor, Bruce Young, there in Woburn, Massachusetts, who kept counseling desperate mothers whose children were dying of leukemia, and hearing a common story that the mothers had always kind of thought the water tasted funny. And then hearing workers who worked near the old toxic waste dump complain of nausea and dizziness often. And for the first time, he postulated a common source. Well, since the famous Woburn case went to trial, it's been discovered that the incidence of childhood leukemia there in Woburn is 4 times that of the national average. And after many people had severe health problems, many kids died, finally the effects of toxic waste were not only discovered, but it was dug up and removed. But of course, there was a painful lesson learned. You can't just bury toxic waste, because it doesn't just go away. It ends up seeping out into the groundwater. It leaks out in gaseous form. In time, it poisons people all around it. We've been wounded. And there's no way around this. This is the human condition. Maybe you got wounded by your parents, despite their best efforts. Or maybe you got wounded by bullies or by enemies, or maybe it was by friends or people you loved who betrayed you. But the truth is, all of us get wounded, and all of us do some wounding. We even wound ourselves. And we can try to just bury it in the ground of our conscience, cover it up, ignore it, hope it goes away. But just like toxic waste in time, it seeps into the groundwater of life.